So short of Megora now. It's St. Patty's Day, and we're coming to you live from downtown Port Huron, bringing you this year's St. Patrick's Day Parade. Sure as we are. And joining me today, this is Ken Kraft from the Port Huron Area School District, and joining me today as a co-host is Denise Selby. Hi, Denise.
Hi, Ken. How you doing today?
Well, I'm not doing too badly. Thankfully, it's sunny at least.
A little windy, but at least it's sunny.
And as you well know, and maybe the folks at home know, it's about 35 degrees. But that will never freeze the shillelagh off of anybody's hand, will it? And
Heavens, no.
So we're down here to enjoy the St. Patrick's Day Parade in downtown Port Huron, making its way from the Harrington Hotel at the far end of town, at the south end of town by the post office, all the way down to this street, which is right on the corner of the Citadel Mall. And so we're waiting for the entries to come our way, and we'll be sharing with you some commentary about the units in this year's parade. It looks like it's a much bigger parade than in the past. As a matter of fact, Denise, I think every year this parade gets bigger and bigger.
I believe it does. It looks like we have a good crowd of people coming out here to see this parade today.
And I know that the cars are all parked along the sides to give people a place to view and comfort and warmth of an enclosed area.
I can hear the hornpipes coming now.
That's right, and those bagpipes will tell you what group they are as soon as they get here. But starting off the parade, we have the local law enforcement. We have the Port Huron Police Car and the St. Clair County Sheriff's Department, always providing us with a safe venue for any parade in Port Huron, and especially this year's St. Patty's Day Parade. And following the law enforcement officers, we have the representatives of the Veterans Association, and they're carrying the American flag, which we salute and we pledge our allegiance to. And this is the VFW Post 5585.
That's a Port Huron post.
And I see at the front is the Grand Marshal waving his shillelagh at us. By gosh and by Gora, I think that is Mr. Brown.
Yes, our own Mr. Brown, Port Huron, leading the parade with his Irish green jacket and top hat. And he's doing a great job. Look like he's having a lot of fun out there.
I wish I could identify all the dignitaries with him, but none of them are leprechauns.
No, but they're all wearing their green
They've
today.
They've got their green and they're having a great time. Hi, Brownie. Happy St. Patty's Day to y'all now. And following them is also another contingent, and we bring up the bagpipe group that you were mentioning earlier.
And don't they sound great?
Ah, this is great. Oh. Excellent. I see the Canadian flag flying with the American flag here.
Yes.
And if we had a name to put to them, we'd be glad to share that, but we're not exactly sure which group this is. Usually we can count on the bass drum identifying the group. So we'll just take a moment to enjoy the wonderful sound. And you notice they're all wearing warm coats over their kilts.
Yes, they are.
And knee socks.
And long socks.
That's right. This is the Royal Canadian Legion, the drum and bugle corps that perform for us.
From
and they're coming
Ontario.
from Sarnia, Ontario. Yep. Mm-hmm. We appreciate the international flavor of this St. Patrick's Day Parade. Boy, that wind just doesn't let up.
No, it doesn't. Very
but
cold.
It will not cool the hearts of a true St. Patty's person.
That's right.
A true Irishman will be warmed down to his toenails. This is our Peace 2000 float. A couple of leprechauns in a wagon. We're not sure exactly which group, but it must be the local Irish group because it looks like the Irish flag on the back.
Yes, it does. And there's a little guy there in a wagon showing his spirit today.
And they're trying to carry the Shamrock flag, and it just doesn't want to cooperate in this wind. And this is the Kearns group. That was a leprechaun float a minute ago with David and Leon Lynch. And coming behind them, we have the Blue Water Trolley.
Here we have a car from Kaywood Auto Company, a red convertible, a little cold today for a convertible, but they're out there anyway.
And it looks like the Blue Water Trolley is carrying a number of senior citizens from the Port Huron area, and we appreciate their cooperation in bringing us another entry in this year's St. Patty's Day Parade. In the distance, I hear the sound of a band. Could you tell us a little bit about that, Denise?
Well, it looks to be the Big Red Marching Machine from Port Huron High School, and they're red and white. Our T-Birds are leading the way. And right now they're doing their famous snake dance that you might have heard about. It's a tradition with the Big Red Marching Machine.
There are a lot of traditions with the Big Red Marching Machine, and we're
Yes,
proud of
there
the
is.
heritage that this performing group has brought to our schools, and especially to Port Huron High School. As always, go Big Reds.
Go Red!
It's probably not an appropriate thing to say on St. Patrick's Day,
No,
but we know what we're
don't have
talking
green.
about. No, that's right. It's red and white, and so we'll just deal with that for today.
They're looking great as they're marching down the street there.
In the forefront is the Thunderbird group, and I see some flags at the back. And boy, I don't envy those sousaphones. It looks like there's 4 of them back there. I don't know how they can even manage to keep the sousaphones up with the bell facing into the wind like this.
Well, they're doing a good job.
Oh, I think I see Borders the cat, too.
Yes,
He's off
I
on the
do.
sideline
Yep,
shaking hands with
some
people.
hands.
Is Borders Irish?
I don't know.
I don't know,
Do
you
you
know.
have any idea on that? No, I don't either.
I don't know if he's an Irish cat or not.
I don't know. But for
He's-
today, he will be.
He will be, but he's not wearing green.
At the end of April, the Big Red Marching Machine will be traveling to Chicago for some
Ah.
workshops.
And that'll be their annual trip for the band.
That is their annual trip, yes.
Will they be competing at that time?
They will be competing and also attending some clinics and doing a little sightseeing while they're there.
The Big Red Band is under the direction of Dan Griffith, who is relatively new to our community, came here a year ago. This is his 2nd year working with the Big Red Marching Machine, and we should also share that recently the Big Red Marching Machine Honors Band competed in the MSBOA Solo and Ensemble, not Solo and Ensemble, but Band Festival in
Band
Marysville,
Festival,
and
yes.
took straight ones.
Straight ones,
We were
yes.
so pleased with their
Very
performance. We're
excited
very
for
proud of them. Yep. Look, she's got shamrock antenna.
Lynn Hearns, the director of the T-Birds, as she's walking by with her shamrocks.
And here are the Thunderbirds. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, the Big Red Marching Machine is boogieing down.
Boy, they are getting down. Oh, Mr. Griffith, where's his green today?
Why, that rascal, he never knows for sure what he's supposed to be wearing with this group, does he?
No, better known as, Dr. Danielson.
The Big Red Marching Machine often performs in community events. They also participate in the Memorial Day Parade, the International Day Parade, the Thanksgiving Day Parade, and very often the Christmas Parade over in Chatham, I believe it is.
Yes,
in
it is.
Sarnia, in
Yes.
Canada.
That's always a fun parade to do.
This is one of the hardest things to do, to march in a cold wind, because the instruments accept the cold temperatures very quickly. Let's listen for a moment as they play. Oh, Danny Boy. That's a pretty good sound for as cold as it is.
They're doing very well today.
We should mention that the marching machine doesn't usually march after Christmas time except for a few select activities, so they've had a few opportunities this week to do some practice marching to get ready for this. It's not as easy as one would think to turn corners with a group that size.
No, it's not, and to keep those lines straight.
And there go the flag carriers. Of course, they're having a difficult time bearing the flags today because
Yep.
of the wind, so they've got them furled right now. I guess that's right.
Yes, in a salute.
Yep. And here we have an antique auto that's coming around the corner. I'm not sure if that was the 1929 Model A Ford Roadster or not. We don't have a lot of information about every one of the entries, but we'll do our best to share with you what we do have. This is Kimball Appliance.
Decorated white Ford from Kimball Appliance.
70 years of dependability downtown. We'll take a moment to mention that we're standing here in front of the Citadel Gallery in downtown Port Huron, and we'd like to express our thanks to Citadel Gallery for sharing their electrical power with us so that we can record this with our video cameras and bring you any commentary that we have with our microphones. And we appreciate the wind block that they provided for
yes,
us with their wonderful brick building a few minutes ago. And here we have the Knights of Columbus. Knights of Columbus are decked out in their, looks like black tuxedos with their capes and their plumed hats. It's amazing they can keep those plumed hats on.
It's a wonder they're not flying away with them. We've got a little float coming up here.
And here we have
Is it
a
also with
garden
the
tractor.
Knights of Columbus? We have a Jeep with a leprechaun painted on the front, a group
This is also
from also Knights of Columbus,
Yep, this
yes.
is Monsignor McCormick, Council Number 521. That looks like a Gaelic cross on the back, or
Yes,
an
it
Irish
does.
cross.
Yes. Here, John Brown has come back to watch the rest of the parade here with us.
this is the Knights of Columbus, who are helping the mentally handicapped, and today they're doing so by handing out Tootsie Rolls.
Oh,
thank you very much for the treat. And may the luck of the Irish be with you, young man. May the luck of the Irish be with you. And thank you very much for the wonderful nourishment. We appreciate it. You know what they say about leprechauns, or you know what leprechauns say? Always have to be Lucky Charms. Always have to be Lucky Charms. But they're not going to get my Tootsie Roll, that's for sure.
No, that's for us.
It may be our only souvenir of the day.
Maybe our lunch.
It could be. And here comes another group. This is the Special Olympics, and they give thanks to the Port Huron KFC, Knights of Columbus, for their support, as these students and children will be participating in Special Olympic events, probably sometime during the summer.
Oh, here comes a very tiny leprechaun being held by maybe his father.
I hope that little one is bundled tightly because it's very, very cold.
He looks pretty warm.
Yeah, he does. John Brown being hailed by several of the people passing by and addressing him as Grand Marshal. Hey, Brownie! And of course, John is well known to our community as a columnist in the Times Herald, now retired but still doing feature columns off and on, identifying the contributions of many, many people throughout the Port Huron area in his column, John Brown's Corner, I think is what it's called.
Yes, it
Brownie's
is.
Corner.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
here comes the Jeep. Denise, let's see if we can find information about the Jeep.
Okay.
Pulled by a green Jeep. We have St. Clair County Irish American Club. I hope that's what this is. And it would be the Erin Queen float with the Queen and the first and second runner-ups. Pulled by a green Jeep with leprechauns painted on the front, a group of marchers will follow or lead the float with a banner and a flag. Sandy Nolan, Pat Cogley, and Terry Nolan are in charge. And notice it does say leprechaun. I think we might have been lucky enough to hit the right information.
I think so.
And those do look like Irish Queens up there, the first runner-up and second and third runner-up, and it does say St. Clair County Irish American League on the back. Followed by, not too far away, the Holland Woods Band.
Oh, great.
Holland Woods Warriors are down here to perform. Holland Woods Band is under the direction of Libby Kelly. And every year, I think for the last several years, they have participated in the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And I also have to give this band a lot of credit. They also perform downtown during the Christmas season when it is as cold can be, standing on the corner by Sperry's or across the street in front of the Red Tail Traders to play Christmas songs for the shoppers in the area. Go Warriors!
It's great to see a middle school band out here as well.
Yep. And now, serving families in the St. Clair County, I believe that this is the American Red Cross.
Yes, it is, Ken.
And of course, we all know that the American Red Cross does a great deal of volunteer work for us, incorporating our blood drives and emergency services, and helping those who are less fortunate in the case of crises or in the case of natural disaster. And they coordinate efforts all over the United States.
What do we have in this pickup here?
I don't know.
What kind of dog is that in the back?
It's an Irish dog. I bet it's an Irish.
Green hat on.
Maybe it's an Irish wolfhound. But it's not a boat driver, that's for sure. This is Tyler Crockett, Performance Marine Engines. And we have one of the big power boats that often traverse the waters around Port Huron when they have their summer races. But I'm not sure that'll happen this year. I've heard the water levels are very, very low.
Yes, boaters are going to have a hard time this year getting their boats in and out of the marinas.
Here's Ken's Oil, offshore racing. Another one of those power boats. Wow.
That is quite a boat there.
I could park one of those in my backyard and use it for a playhouse, but that's about all I could do with it. I bet it takes a very special skill to be able to maneuver one of those boats on the water. The power behind them must be incredible.
Next we have Old Country Buffet with their green Jeep. They have a, looks like a little bee in the back of their truck there.
And you know what?
An Irish bee.
Well, it could be, but actually that bee is a spelling bee. And I believe that I've seen that bee at some of our elementary schools, helping the children to get involved in reading programs. Last year, I attended a presentation at Woodrow Wilson, where that bee made presentations to children for all the books they've read. And look who's going by us, Representative Bonnier with his pine tree float.
I see that.
And you know, one of those balloons must be one of the hardest things to control with this kind of wind.
Especially with this wind today, yes.
Here we have another convertible, but this time with the top up. It's a St. Patrick's Day party. Entertainment by the Voodoo Doctors at the Linwood in Marysville.
Voodoo Doctors.
For more information, contact the Linwood if you're interested in the St. Patrick's Day party.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of parties happening tonight around town.
I imagine. Doesn't matter whether you're Irish or not.
They had the pub crawl here the other night.
This is the Independence for Life, the senior courtesy van, providing transportation for our senior citizens through the St. Clair County Council on Aging. Elaine's lovable little learners. I didn't know they were Irish.
They are today.
Well, I guess you're right. And there's a koala bear on top. What on earth?
I just lost you. Next we have St. Joseph's School, carrying their banner, A School to Believe in their green and white with the pom-pom girls following along. A couple little leprechauns in a stroller as part of St. Joseph's School. Oh, I hear another band coming up here. St. Joseph's School Kindergarten Roundup is April 27th. I see some blue and gold coming down the street. It looks like Port Huron Northern High School Band. Their flags leading the way.
The nice thing about this particular group is it's under the direction of Catherine Trudeau, and the Port Huron Northern Band has had many of the same opportunities as the Port Huron High School Band. We're experiencing a little, I think I'm back. We're experiencing a little technical difficulty for a moment there. My microphone got snapped off.
Welcome back, Ken.
No, thank you. And the Port Huron Northern Band is wearing their regalia of blue and gold, and they're performing another number for us as they round the corner.
Looking very sharp today.
The Port Huron Northern Band will be hosting a band concert on Thursday of next week at McMorran Auditorium. That would be March 23rd. So if anybody is interested in coming on down, it's their annual collage concert that'll take place, I think, at 7:30 in the evening. And we would encourage anybody in the community to come and join us.
We have a busload of St. Edward on the lake, all decked out in their shamrocks, and the kids are looking out the windows with their streamers and their hats on.
And turning the corner right now is the Newsmobile from WHLS Radio at WSAQ. We appreciate...
Manager Matt Brown is in there.
And Denise, I think we're at the end of the parade.
Oh!
We're turning the corner with the sheriffs and the police cars again, and they're followed by a host of traffic. And I think all that traffic is trying to get into the parade.
I believe they are.
They're saying, we're Irish too. Let us have a chance to be on camera.
Well, there you have it, our St. Patty's Day Parade.
In downtown Port Huron, we'd like to thank you for tuning in and sharing with us in this festive occasion. And once again, it's been brought to you by the Irish American Group, I guess, and all the Irish people in Port Huron who want to celebrate St. Patty's Day. We'd like to thank once again the Citadel Gallery, located on Main Street in downtown Port Huron, for providing us with the electrical power to run our cameras and our microphones, and for giving us a nice little windbreaker every now and then. And we'd like to thank CPHS6. Oh, we're on camera. We'd like to thank CPHS6 and the crew who stood out here in all the cold temperatures and all of the activities trying to fix the microphones and the wind to bring you this parade. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed having an opportunity to see the St. Patty's Day Parade in downtown Port Huron, whether you've had a chance to be here or not. And we'd like to wish all of you a very happy St. Patrick's Day. And make it a great celebration, but above all, be safe. Take care.
Happy St. Patty's Day, everyone.
Ken Kraft and Denise Selby signing off, wishing you all the best.